Hello friends, we are going to talk today about most familiar topic, that is customer centricity. Now, customer centricity is known as a very familiar subject because we have been providing customer service right from the time we are in the banking system, and all customers will be looking at customer service where technology has some role, and customer service is the last mile connection with the customers, where the behavioral part in serving the customer holds the significance. Customer service is a vital function. It ensures that when a customer encounters an issue, the bank has to be more responsive in sorting out those grievances. So the grievance redressal mechanism has to be very fast, responsive to the customer needs, so that we are able to work towards greater customer centricity. Now, customer centricity rests on so many aspects of the banking system, but three blocks are very, very important. First is the structure. Structure is right from the board level, how the customer service is oriented, policy framework, the second pillar. First is how the dissemination of the culture and strategy and the philosophy of customer service is disseminated as a cultural value system in the organization that needs to be disseminated down to the line management. That is the structure. Second is policy framework, where the policies are devised in such a way that we provide the best of the services in terms of customer redressal and simplification of the processes, procedures, and there is a delight in whatever kind of services we provide to the customer, so that customer remains happy with us and our market share improves. So customer centricity, second line is the your policy framework. Third is reorienting our people at the branches and including our BC points, because BC points does a lot of extension work in the ground, in the villages and hinterland. So we need to train them how to orient and how the local languages are used, because now even translation becomes easy, because AI, LLM, large language models, they translate the various languages, and it becomes very easy to use the local language. So processes and the orientation of the employees towards providing the customer service. Now, if you scan through the developments, you will find that the regulator has been providing a lot of regulatory guidances in building a customer-centric institution as far as banks and NBFCs and other financial entities are concerned. We need to have a relook as to how the customer centricity is developed in the banking system. And we can also think of moving away from customer centricity to stakeholder centricity, where we take care of investors, we take care of regulators, we take care of our chartered accountants and other people who provide services to us, various kinds of services. So customer centricity, your stakeholder centricity, and customer service. All the three aspects have to be looked into. Now, when we look at the RBI guidance on this, it is very interesting. Lot of developments have happened. Beginning with in 2014, if you recall, the RBI has given customer charter of customer rights, how to provide rights to the customers, that has been enacted. This customer charter rests on five aspects: right to fair treatment, as far as customers' point of view is concerned; right to transparency; right to suitability; right to privacy; and right to resolution of grievances. And there should be a system of redressing customer grievances. And every bank is having customer charter as to how to provide the services and things like that. Then the next one comes one nation, one ombudsman, which has been introduced in by RBI. That is integrated ombudsman scheme, RBI integrated ombudsman scheme, which merges three legacy ombudsman schemes. One is banks, which was introduced in ombudsman scheme was introduced in 2006, and for non-banks 2018, and digital transactions in 2019. All these three have been merged in 2021 to bring what is known as one nation and one ombudsman. So this has been brought, and later on improvements have been made. In 2022, cooperative banks have been brought into it, and in 2026, enhanced compensation for consequential losses has been included, and RBI also has included credit information companies into the ambit of banking ombudsman scheme in August 2022. So now banks, non-banks, cooperative banks, CICs, that is credit information companies, all are coming within the ambit of the RBI's ombudsman scheme. An inbuilt system of having very systematic customer grievances redressal system in the bank. Out one by one the developments that have happened. RBI has mandated, if you just reflect on the guidelines, making it mandatory to have a key fact statement to the borrowers. The borrower, even in digital lending as well as in normal branch bank lending operations, the banks have to provide the KFS, that is a key fact statement, which should include all-in cost and annual percentage rate which is charged to the borrowers. So that is a very big mandate that has come from the RBI. And MSME, retail, all these loans have been included in within that ambit. Key fact statement. So that is also customer centric. Then uniform framework on prepayment and foreclosure of loans. So from January 1, 2026, this has been introduced. Then to protect the customers against digital risks, that is cyber risks, RBI has introduced two-factor authentication from 1st April 2026. Two-factor authentication or additional factor of authentication has been made mandatory, where one will be normal standard checkpoints like SMS, OTP SMS and things like that. But one should be specific to the transaction, depending on the size of the transaction, complexity of the transaction, where the checkpoint has to be behavior driven, where the banks will have to capture the behavior, and one checkpoint where which will be specific to the customer. So that two-factor authentication gives lot of protection to the customers against any kind of fraudulent, because OTPs are being compromised in different ways. But this second authentication cannot be guessed by any of the cyber fraudsters. That is the most important thing that has come. And then RBI has issued a master direction on debt collection and recovery agents' conduct, because with the increase in the retail loans and with the increase in the microfinance and a lot of low value loans, banks have started outsourcing recovery work to the agencies, and who have started using what we call the unlawful way of recovering misbehavior with the borrowers and all. That is why RBI has now brought a direction where it will be implemented. It has been implemented from July 1, 2026, where 100% institutional liability is passed on to the regulated entities, so that to the banks and NBFCs, so that they will be responsible for the conduct of the recovery agents. So the recovery agents have to be got certified with the knowledge that they have and their behavior, their conduct, and they cannot, there are certain restrictions which have been given, where they cannot approach any defaulted borrower during only they can contact during daytime. There are certain restrictions which have been given. So this is another customer centric development. On August 6, RBI has rolled out another business conduct, responsible business conduct targeting mis-selling, ethical loan recovery and borrower protection. See, what happened is many of the banks have started selling wealth management products, and many of the wealth management product targets are given to the branches and line management people who many times dump the products on the customers without understanding the implications. I think mis-selling is now totally banned. It has been rolled out to ensure that there is no mis-selling. And one more factor which needs to be kept in mind is, even if a customer has given the consent, if the product is not suitable to him, the bank will have to refund the whole amount, and maybe they will have to pay some compensation for the acts of mis-selling. So mis-selling is now very prohibited activity in the banking system. It used to be earlier also, but now the regulations are very, very specific about that. Then digital banking fraud compensation framework is being rolled out, where the small value frauds for the loss that the depositor may face, up to 25,000 compensation can be given to the person who suffers any digital fraud. And the system has been devised. RBI has already spelt out the system, where 15% is borne by the customer, 15% by the bank, and 70% will be funded by the RBI's own corpus, which is meant for this kind of activities. So that needs to be kept in mind. So if you see the way in the last 3 to 4 years, the kind of regulations that have been brought by RBI, now, when RBI is so much concerned about it, the banks also have to be equally concerned about the customer centricity actions, and they need to look into the mechanism of redressal of customer grievances, selling of products and services, how the suitability is examined, and how ring fencing against digital frauds can be ensured. All these aspects will have to be kept in mind. So, unless the banks build an ecosystem for customer centricity, for stakeholder centricity, customer services cannot be ensured to the satisfaction of the customers. If that doesn't happen, then the ALM mismatches will widen further, and other institutions will drive away more of the savings away from the banking system, which will increase the risks of the banks. And hence, the customer centricity is the mainframe risk management tool for the banks in the coming times. So we will be talking more about these kind of developments in the banking system. Till then, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe and share and like our work if you like it, and ensure that the knowledge dissemination is continuous, and it takes place from time to time, because new developments are taking place. We will be coming up with this kind of information videos in the coming times. Thank you very much for watching.